Can I? There's a link back to real.
Great. So we have people joining bit by bit. Welcome to the kitchens. Charles, you tell me when you're ready to go.
All set, Nikki.
Wonderful. Great. Well, good morning, good afternoon, good night for Mengli and maybe some others. So exciting to be in the kitchens with everyone today on this beautiful Sunday. And welcome to the Universal Kitchens. It's the last of a series during the Social Gastronomy Movement online food solidarity gathering. We started off on World Food Day on Friday with a Universal Plate led by Rafa and loads of our entrepreneurs from around the world. It was a beautiful experience, which we'll hear a little bit more about after from Camila. And then we followed with a dialogue, because social gastronomy is about action, but the social gastronomy movement is also about bringing people to sit at a table for a dialogue to find the right solutions towards the problems we're facing in the world. So we had a food solidarity universal table to discuss the important issue of hunger together, which was as well a great experience and online already. And so this is the last of the universals right now. So the Universal Kitchen, that I'm extremely excited about. And what I'm excited about as well is to be co-hosting this session with the beautiful Charleses. And the first Charles I'd like to introduce is Charles Holmes, that I think almost everyone here knows, that has been with Social Gastronomy Movement since Miami, since the very beginning. And is just a mastermind and beautiful host. So Charles, with no further ado, I'll welcome you to the kitchens.
Nikki, thank you so much, and welcome everybody. What an absolute delight. If you are sitting at a computer where you have access to the chat, it would be wonderful if you could just write in, where are you and what time of day is it where you are? I'm sitting here in our kitchen in Vancouver, North Vancouver, British Columbia. I'm thrilled to have a fellow Vancouverite, Mark Brand, one of our chefs who's joining us. So I have at least one person in the same time zone as me. It's 9 a.m. here in the morning. Rafa is joining us from Santiago. Oh, awesome. We've got somebody from Halifax. So we can just see where people are coming from Denmark, from Bogota, from Rio, from Florida. Oh my goodness. So we can see the smiling faces of the 39, 40 people that are here, and also see where you're joining us from. Really excited, Nikki. Thank you so much for inviting me to join you to co-host this Universal Kitchen. I'd actually like to start with just having a bit of a conversation with you, and really just explore a little bit before we move into our opportunity to connect with each other and meet the chefs. Just maybe one or two things that just struck you from the last sessions that we've been a part of with the kickoff starting on Friday? And then I'd like to, Nikki, like to just hear a few reflections from you on the social gastronomy movement and why this has gained your attention. So what are one or two of the highlights so far?
I think the one thing from Universal Plate is just the power of us. Just seeing everyone being so motivated and doing what we do best, being at the front of the action and serving those that most need it. So just seeing this energy, this light going, you know, from the Philippines to Africa to Chile, like it was really beautiful to see that movement starting the day. So I think the power of us was one of my key highlights and learnings. And then from the Universal table, I think what I found when we looked at the systems, sort of acupuncture points we need to focus on, the similarities, like the same challenges that in the different sectors we actually have. So recognizing these similarities versus just differences, they're different sectors. No, we have similar challenges. So why don't we get together, start this dialogue and actually address them together? So I think this plus that we actually already have a lot of the solutions at hand, but by connecting the dots and eliminating those acupuncture points, we can move the dialogue towards zero hunger forward. So I think these were a bit the outcomes that I had from the first two Universal sessions, and the already 3 sessions we had yesterday as well were beautiful.
I so appreciate that reminder that no matter where we are in the world, no matter what we're facing, we are so much more alike than we are different. And all too often we think that our particular challenge is unique to us. And in discovering others who are grappling with similar challenges, we're all of a sudden not as lonely. It's these connections, and you know, the energy that I can feel even here already, and certainly in the sessions that have been run already, it's extraordinary what's possible. I must say the sadness that I felt when I realized we weren't all going to be together in Paris was significant, because having been together with many of you in other locations physically, it's hard to replace that. And yet at the same time, there's something really special that we can do here together. Nikki, I know that you have committed yourself to this work, to using food as a tool for social change, and specifically to the social gastronomy movement. Maybe just share a little bit about why it's so important to you personally, and maybe just a little bit about SGM.
Sure. I think, well, my mind is very much on food solidarity and hunger right now. So I think I'll make that connection, because I think a lot of people that are here, that I already know, some of you don't know, I am Polish originally. And I found that identity through food, for our recipes, for our traditions. And talking about traditions, there's one that I wanted to point out, which is where during Christmas, what we do is we sit around the table, like most families, and we leave one seat open. Like we prepare it as if it were for any other family member. And this is a big Polish tradition. So if anyone comes knocking on the door, we invite them in to sit at the table with us. And so that makes me, I was reflecting upon it a lot these days, and it makes me just think that if everyone would treat thy neighbor like your family, I think we would face a much better world, and inviting people in to have and share a meal. And I think we're going to hear from a lot of the cooks around now as well, how they do it. So I think this just made me reflect a lot recently, since we've been focusing on food solidarity this year. But beyond that, when I moved to Brazil, working for an international organization, like I had a very comfortable life, but I saw the reality clashes here and the difference I could make by building those bridges. And so for me, it became so clear, I didn't even think, it was an intuitive thing to back then join David with Gastromotiva, and then we co-created with a bunch of others the Social Gastronomy Movement, so turning a vision into a reality. And I think my heart and soul are in it. The more organizations and people I've been meeting from across the globe, and motivates me even more. So following our recipe of CCPs, connecting, collaborating, and partnering, because I truly believe that we can actually change the world we live in through the CCPs and through the power of food. So I think this is what's in it for me. So on a very personal level, my commitment since very small, and then just the learnings of moving to a country like Brazil and meeting all of you, all of these beautiful people across the globe.
Beautiful. Thanks, Nikki. You know, just in the spirit of connecting, collaborating, and partnering, I think it's really important to, in sessions like this, acknowledge those who, you know, behind the scenes have been absolutely instrumental. And I really want to ask Katie to wave. Come on, Katie, wave. And Katie has been instrumental in helping put this session in particular together, and Janet as well. Janet, if you could just wave so everyone can see you. Gatherings like this are not possible without people who put in countless hours of time and effort to pull these together. So I just really want to say a huge thank you, especially to the two of you.
Thank you. It's been an honor.
So in the spirit of Nikki, you used the word reflection, the opportunity for reflection, and how important that is. We're going to take a bit of a very precious pause before we move into our agenda, to pause and reflect with the presence of Manuela. Manuela, could you wave so we can see you? Manuela, I was first bathed by Manuela's music in Miami, and her music and her presence truly is an invitation to reflect. And in keeping with the theme of inviting others in, connection, collaboration, and food, I'd like to just, as Manuela plays, invite you to reflect on the meals that you have shared with others, the communities that have come together around food in your world, and maybe, you know, reflect on, you know, what is one of the more special times or moments that you've been together around food, or a favorite meal that you have created. And I'm so grateful for this gathering, because last night it gave me the opportunity to invite my children and their friends into creating my favorite meal, which uses this. And this is my grandmother's German spatula maker. So, and we sat outside. It's very cold here in Canada last night, and sat outside and shared spatula and beef stroganoff, and great conversation. So on that note, Manuela, I'm going to turn it to you. We'll take somewhere between 3 and 4 minutes to just sit and be in the presence of Manuela's music, and to reflect. And then we're going to break into small groups and have a bit of a conversation. But Nikki and I will share more about that after we hear the music.
Thank you. So I invite you to close your eyes. To take this couple of minutes to connect with your heart, with your passion, to connect deeply with the reason why you are here, the purpose. So let go of the fears the sadness in the heart. Bring a smile to the life that you have, and celebrate together the privilege of the sun. Let the sun shine bright. Let your sun shine bright. And just take a deep breath, very deep breath. Let's take a collective breath. So inhale deeply. When you exhale, let go of everything that you don't want anymore. And inhale and bring in all the beauty, all the magic. And exhale, let go of the tiredness. And in this space, we're gonna bring in some happiness and some beauty. The sense of gratitude for everything you've done, everything you've been through. So just connect to that thing you're grateful for. So if you can move your body, just to, connect to this movement of life, you've done a great job. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. So let go and bring the light of life into your heart, and connect to the heart, this powerhouse, that heart that brought you here, that heart that keeps you alive. And let's just listen to that heart. Just connect to the heart and really, really feel it. The power of your heart. Thank you for all your service, and thank you for everything you're doing to change this world. Namaste.
Manuela, thank you so much. I have to say your music is as powerful and touching here over thousands of miles distance as it is when sitting in the same room with you. You have such a gift, and I'm so grateful that we are all able to receive it. Thank you. Nikki, I'm thinking we will, in the spirit of connection, collaboration, and partnership, move into a bit of a conversation, but I think you have something you want to say first.
Do I want to say a lot of things? But extreme gratitude, just that was beautiful. Thank you so much, Manu, as well, for your contribution. It's always connecting to that moment. You were very at the very creation back in Miami that some of us were. So it's so beautiful to connect to that moment as well, and how circles come together. And I think this was very close to all our hearts. So thank you for that. Are we ready to go into breakout groups, Charles?
Yeah. So we're going to put you together into groups of 4. Our invitation would be, as long as you're comfortable, have your video turned on. We're hoping that there will be people from all different parts of the world in these groups. You'll be there for about 8 minutes, and our invitation is simply to introduce yourself, share a little bit about what drew you to join the Universal Kitchen this morning. If you want to share a brief story about a favorite meal, something you love to cook for others, that's fine, or what food solidarity means to you. We're going to leave it fairly open. It's a chance to meet a few other folks. One thing we have found in doing these sessions is the breakout rooms are never long enough, and people forget to exchange emails or ways of connecting. So don't forget to do that. If there are people that you meet that you want to stay in touch with, exchange information. And by the way, listening to Manuela's music while watching some of the movements in the kitchens was just beautiful. Just beautiful. Okay, so let's Janet, I think you're going to break us into groups, and we'll be back here. And be forewarned that you may get cut off in mid-sentence at the end of the 8 minutes when we come back to join each other all together. And we're now 47 people gathered here. So let's see who we're each going to be in a room with. Janet, let us go.
Hi. Hello. Hi, Catherine. Hi, Mark.
Am I muted?
You're on mute, Mark.
Here we go.
Hi.
Hi.
Where are you calling from?
I'm in New England. Where are you?
I'm in Spain, Madrid.
Nice. What time is it there?
It is 6:30 here.
PM?
6:30 p.m. Yes.
It is noon here.
Mark is over there in Vancouver. He's one of our chefs over here today.
Awesome.
Beautiful kitchen, by the way, Mark.
So much. I just moved into this space. I usually spend about 300 days of the year on the road. So I just moved in here 2 weeks ago, and
Whoa.
I'll show you something real quick. I've lived in Vancouver for 15 years, and I've always looked at my neighborhood.
Oh my God.
But Charles is right there. He's just over the way. So knowing that we'll probably be spending more time indoors, I finally got myself a grown-up apartment.
Nice.
Nice. So Catherine, what brings you to the Universal Kitchens?
I'm just generally interested in the social gastronomy movement and regenerative agriculture, regenerative everything up that alley. I'm not actually, that's not really my profession. I'm a screenwriter mostly, but I like to see what's going on with all of the other futurist sort of movements and how everybody's working to connect one another. And I figured this would be a cool way to check it out.
Yeah, that's great. So about me, I actually work for the Social Gastronomy Movement. I just moved to Madrid. I was living in Japan for about 3 years. And I'm originally from Los Angeles, California. So I kind of just like jumped around a couple of places. And yeah, and I work for the Social Gastronomy Movement here, as well as Comida para Todos in Spain, which is part of our network, but that one specifically for like, we have like a network of restaurants in Spain that are working towards food solidarity as well.
That's so cool.
Mark, do you want to talk a little bit about yourself? Because I researched you when I heard your name and I thought you were super, super cool.
Thank you. That's really sweet. Yeah, you're gonna hear
fanning out with a bunch of people like over this entire event.
Yeah, you're gonna hear about what I do in a minute, but I'm in Vancouver. I've started 11 different businesses here. I pivoted to social impact in about 2009 and created the first B Corp restaurant here, the first B Corp brewery and farm, and then took my work into the charitable realm. And we feed about 1,200 people a day here in the downtown east side. So we'll put about 3 million meals out of our community kitchen, which is 3 blocks away. And we focus specifically on upward mobility for marginalized populations. So how do we get people out of recidivism? How do we get people with mental and physical diverse abilities sorted out? And now I work on the US side. I'll talk more about that in Mexico. And then I work globally with the Future Food Institute and the United Nations FAO around food security, poverty, and food waste is a huge focus for me. So we established Food Waste Day with the UN last year, and I got a chance to address them and speak my mind, but I'll share that in a little bit. So that's some of my work.
That's very cool.
So Catherine, are you cooking something today or are you just watching?
I'm just watching. I've been kind of boxed out of my kitchen's currently being used by my family members. So I literally just have a thing of pecans and I'm in a screened in porch.
Perfect.
Do you have a story that you want to share around food or something? Experience, moment?
I'm not really, like, there's been a lot, to be perfectly honest. Like coming up, my parents weren't necessarily together and my culture is a little bit fractured. Because my father's side is Finnish and Puerto Rican and my mother's side is Irish, Italian, and a whole smattering of other things. And I grew up, I'm extremely white looking, but the way that I ended up connecting with the other side of my family was very much the culinary side of it. Like I can remember being, I think 11 or 12 years old, and I had to call my grandfather and ask him what what his recipe was for all of these things. And it's both really bonding and interesting because I sometimes get to do it with him now, but it was also just deeply funny because the first thing he said to me was go and get a Goya box and turn it over. Like get the Saison packets, turn them over, the recipe's right there. He's like, I haven't been doing anything special. It's an interesting part of the culture, but at the same token, it's very emblematic of my actual grandfather who pretty much, he cooks very well, but it's come out over the years that a lot of the things that he's gotten have been from either the little old lady down the street or he just straight up took off the back of a package. So how did you get into, like, how did you both as humans get into food solidarity and everything involved?
Yeah, so actually mine is pretty recent. When I lived in Los Angeles, like I was born and raised in Los Angeles, I didn't really pay too much attention to food other than I liked going out with some friends. And then I relocated to Japan for work about 3 years ago. And that's actually when I realized like how much I missed just home and my culture and my family and my kitchen, because Japan has such small little kitchens and like it's hard to get the ingredients. Like my family is from El Salvador, so getting any like plátanos or like refried beans is impossible in Japan because the cuisine is so different. And I couldn't really talk, I couldn't talk to anyone because I didn't know the Japanese language. So I would only be able to talk to people that, that came from my office, that we all spoke English. And so for me, like, I just started to like going to the grocery store, unless I went to an international grocery store that was like miles away, I had to learn how to use Japanese groceries. And I didn't, like, I couldn't read anything. So I just started like, I'd spend 3 hours in the grocery store just Google translating and researching these different ingredients. Soon enough, I started to like make meals and invite people over to my apartment, as like, I didn't even understand them sometimes. It was like friends of friends. And I ended up growing my community of friends at the gym and at work, just like sharing a meal. Like, language was no boundary anymore, because it was the emotion and the laughter between each other that I was able to bring just by inviting people over to my apartment. And then I just started studying, like, you know, on my own culinary, and I went to some classes in, I think we're getting cut off, aren't we, Charles? Do we need to close rooms? You're on mute, you're on mute.
No, I'm not sure if the 8 minutes is up. I just came back. It was just David and I in a room.
Some people didn't accept their rooms, but anyways, so yeah, so long story short, yeah, I discovered it through living in Japan and being really missing my like comfort at home. And so as I was able to like find, like go to Los Angeles and bring back ingredients and then cook them for my friends, of like, this is what I grew up with, this is my comfort food, it allowed me to really understand and appreciate my culture. Like, I wish I would have paid more attention to my grandmother's cooking and learning more, that now I'm just asking my mom for recipes all the time.
Hey, Janet, do you want to close the rooms? Yeah.
I will close the rooms. Closing now.
Thanks for sharing, you two. That was awesome.
Thank you for sharing.
It was not enough time, Charles.
I know. I warned you. I said it's one of those things.
I know. You just like start getting into the moments.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's yeah, so true.
All right.
So people, what's always interesting is if people start coming back, it means they've finished in their room, but then all the others will just go.
Like that.
Yeah, some people are not leaving yet, so that means they're like
exactly. There are others who are saying, "Oh, it's not enough time."
It's gonna automatically close.
Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back.
Wow.
People are coming flooding back in.
I see many more cameras on now. This is good.
Nikki, I love that presence of that beautiful head of lettuce next to you.
Stage setting, and it's going to be cut up throughout this whole session afterward. We're done with the gratin now.
Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. I'm really curious how many people found that that was too long to spend in a room with, or not enough time.
Actually, not enough time.
Not enough time.
Not enough time.
So we probably could have spent the rest of the whole session in conversations with each other in those rooms. But we have so much more we want to do together. That when with our guests, who, as you can see, are so busy in their kitchens. So hope you met a few people that you have fallen in love with, and that you may stay in touch with. That truly is the spirit of the social gastronomy movement: connecting, collaborating, and finding ways to partner. So speaking of partnerships, Nikki, anything you wanted to say before I introduce our other Charles?
No, I'm sorry, I'm just getting lost in the kitchens. I'm so excited to see everyone's kitchen. I see Lena from Sweden. I see my neighbors actually, be with the other neighbors. Rafa, it's so good to see everyone. So just my heart, just to share my last thing, but my heart is beating seeing everyone cooking, connected, new faces, old faces. So grateful for everyone being here.
Brilliant. And Andy, I want the recipe for the moules and frites that you posted. They looked so delicious. So it's an absolute in speaking of referencing partnerships and collaboration, it's such a joy to have had the opportunity to begin and I say begin to get to know Charles Michel. Such a delight, such a privilege, Charles. We've had very little time together, but the time that we have had together, it's become very evident to me that you're a kindred brother, and it's such an honor. I'm not going to go through Charles's bio. I do recommend checking out some of his TED Talks. You'll catch the spirit of who this incredibly generous, heartfelt, giving person is. He is a chef, he's a convener, he's truly an artist and a teacher. But I would say more than anything, he's an alchemist who's really dedicated himself to fostering the development of people's inner lives, our connection with others, social lives, and the environment. So it's such a delight, Charles, to have you here. Some of you be wondering why we're not seeing his face live. We're actually doing a little experiment here. We're going to be seeing Charles's hands only. So the image that you see of the picture of hands and the paper and the fruit, that's Charles speaking with us through his body. And I do want to acknowledge that there is actually a reason for that. Charles had the misfortune on Friday of eating something to which he had an allergic reaction. And his preference is that he doesn't show his face, given the impact of the allergic reaction. So we will be seeing Charles's hands, and Charles is going to take us through the rest of our time together. Charles, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Oh, thank you, Charles, for that beautiful introduction. I'm so grateful to be here, and yeah, well, different setup here, but every challenge that we face can be an opportunity to innovate. So here I'll be taking notes as we travel through the different kitchens around the world and marking kind of keywords and seeing how this universality of the work we do kind of reflects visually. And so it's such an honor to be part of this movement. It feels as if we're truly addressing some of maybe one of the most fundamental topics of our time, and at such an important turning point. That is the decade of the 20s, and so to start this conversation that will guide us through different kitchens around the world, showing, realizing different ways in which food expresses emotion, stories, connection to agriculture, connection to the land, really, to water, to the earth, to nutrients, to sunlight, but also to what makes us uniquely unique all over the world, whether it is our culture, whether it is our DNA and our ancestry. But in the end, when we come together around a table, there is that universal sense of safety, that sense of togetherness that is one of the essences that fuels the work that we all do, and especially kind of the bit of the leitmotif of the social gastronomy movement. And I want to go back in time, as I love kind of doing, just remembering where we come from. About 2 million years ago, we were very much a part of nature. And there is one innovation, one technical innovation that actually made us start a separation from nature in a way. That wasn't really about being separated at that time, but slowly triggered an evolutionary process. And that was the discovery of fire. If you think about it, we are the only animal species that have control over fire. A bit like, in the Greek mythology, Prometheus, right? We stole the fire from the gods of nature, let's say it, right? Maybe through thunderstorm. We were able to capture that fire and to control it and to cook our foods with it. And with it came not only the warmth, right? And being able to throw things in the fire and cook them and have these incredible aromas and this predigestion that happens on a molecular level on each of these ingredients that allows us to extract more energy and better nutrients from the foods that we harvest in our environments, in our landscapes. And around that fire also happened something truly magical for our species, which is the development of, first of all, feeling safe and being able to defend ourselves, but also what happens around the fire. We sing, right? Like Manuela was sharing with us earlier, right? We sing, we dance, we tell stories, and the fire, the hearth, is the kitchen, right? It's the heart, it's the fuel that fuels not only the body but also the soul, and that represents the structure and the kind of source of where we are and where we come from and who we are as a species on this planet, as a life form on this planet. And today, one of the most important turning points in history, as we enter the Anthropocene, as we enter a stage of evolution in which we are the architects. And I say architects because we have the choice, have the privilege of choice into how the world is organized, how we interact with each other, how we treat natural resources. And we are now, more than ever, awakening to the responsibility of caring for all life. And we're not there yet. We're just beginning to see the promise of regeneration. We're beginning to see the promise of a renaissance eventually, just like historically pandemics triggered renaissances. Well, we are in the middle of a turning point. And that is, I believe, an awakening, right? And transversely through many industries, we're realizing how this affects us and how this will affect the future. I would love to see the kitchen as, of course, the hearth, right? The heart of the home where we come together. But I love also to see the kitchen as the extension of agriculture, right? It's the extension of nature. We cooks are, in a way, I prefer, rather than calling ourselves creators or like I invented this dish, we're actually interprets of the beauty of nature. We are very much like orchestrators, like jazz musicians, you know, leading with rhythm, with complexity, with beauty, with harmony, and creating delicious things to eat and to share and to create community, to create solidarity. And as we enter this opportunity, I just want to close before we start our travel around the world. I wanted to say that I do believe that the work of social gastronomy is fundamental. And I think we're realizing the importance of food as a birthright. If you are human, you are from the earth, you are of the earth, and you deserve access to the earth's bounty. And everyone should have access to universal basic nutrition. Beyond universal basic income, maybe an idea is to really think about having access to nutritious food, because it is our birthright as a species. And I wanted to leave that there as a promise, as eventually as a narrative that we could all strive for in the coming decade, as we aim towards 2030 as a global celebration where we will have achieved as we enter this decade. And there's going to be a lot of hard work, and there's going to be a lot of pain and even trauma being created right now as we speak in communities all over the world. There's still a lot of pain to come, but the promise of a more beautiful society and the work we do connecting humans to nature. This is from a cactus, this is from a tree, this is from another plant, right? This connection of these food, these nutrients that are basically our bridge to nature. So I'm honored today to be opening up and facilitating this journey that we're going to go through different parts in the world. And we're going to start by visiting Mengli, who is in Cambodia, in Siem Reap, Angkor Wat, which is one of the most beautiful heritage sites on the planet. Abundant nature and incredibly rich culture. And Mengli works at the Po restaurant, and he has an incredible approach to ingredients, to freshness, to herbs, to plant-based nutrition. And Mengli, I'm not sure if you're ready to start sharing with us as we start this journey around the world. Thank you for being with us from Cambodia. Yeah, I'll leave it to you now.
Hi. Thank you, Charles. Thank you for having me. So I appreciate that I'm here tonight, and here is midnight already. So I already prepared the dish that my first met David here in Cambodia, and then I show through here.
Oh,
You guys see that?
beautiful. Yes.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about the dish if you want, or if you want to start telling us a little bit about how you work and what food solidarity means to you through your work.
Yeah, the idea of presenting this kind of dish is like I want Cambodian food to be another generation of our generation, because not a lot of people they know Cambodian food, even the whole city of Cambodia. And I really observe with my family, and then I love food eating for the first time, and then I've been at school for 2 years. After that, I feel like, okay, I bring the food, and then I want to go around the world with the food, and then to show until now. Yeah, I met all you guys, and then I follow, been through. I feel like, oh, this is the way, and then I happy. I bring my happiness around with food. So
beautiful.
Yeah, as you see, it's like, as Charles said, quite a lot of ingredient is fresh, and then all is like a beautiful combination together. So then we eat from the bottom to the top. It's like we start from the fish till we eat the top of the tree. So it's like coconut and rice.
Oh, beautiful.
Like that.
Yeah. Do you want to tell us a little bit more about the different ingredients that are in the dish that you prepared?
Want to try some?
Yeah, I put this all together. It's like this is the fresh noodle from rice.
Beautiful. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we soak rice, and then we blend through to the noodle. This is fresh and only for today. And my grandma's story, she have the noodle with the crab dip, and then I have the crab dip and the coconut flesh together. My mom and my grandma together, recipe together, and then one bowl is like my mom, my grandma together, and then I present to all of you.
Oh, beautiful.
Around. Yes. Yeah.
Beautiful.
So this is like I call it like a family inspired cuisine.
Mm-hmm.
That way.
Beautiful. And so you have the noodles, you have the coconut, some greens there, and so the kind of quite vibrant, right? Representation of your landscape and your family story, I understand.
Yeah, and the crab.
Crab, beautiful. And so, Mengli, would you like to tell us a little bit about what food solidarity means to you in your community, in your city, as you make also do the work of showing Cambodian food to the world? What does food solidarity mean to you?
Yes, it's easy for me because the idea of choosing food in Siem Reap, we have a lot of tourists who traveling around the world, and then sharing this kind of idea. And then I feel like food is the word who go very easy around the world, and then it's good to communicate by food and by the way they enjoyed it, and then the way we communicate the textures, and then more than that.
Beautiful. Food as a universal language.
Yeah. Yes.
Beautiful. All right. Well, thank you so much. Menglis, do you want to share anything else with us today as we continue this journey around the world. You want to share a final thought or final note?
Yeah, like I said, this food is really connect, and then the food from me is mostly from the family, and then I say to I can say to everyone, it's like food is the most happiness things. Even you step into the market till the kitchen and walk out to the table. So I love all the combination and the story about it. Thank you.
Beautiful.
And then to be here tonight.
Such a
Really
pleasure to have
appreciate it.
you. Thank you so much for being there at midnight in Cambodia, connecting with us. And after service, I imagine you've had a very big day. We wish you all the best for continuation, and looking forward to see you around.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mengli. Thank you so much.
Good. I said the Cambodian word. Good.
Thank you. Right. So I love the fact that you mentioned food as universal language, as it really is a way to share stories, right? And despite our differences, as Charles Holmes was saying, this is where we all kind of come together and in communion in a way, with pleasure, with the beauty of the ingredients transformed through kitchens. Thank you so much, Mengli, for sharing that with us. And so now we're going to head to ZADK Culinary Academy. I hope I pronounced that well. What was created by Rania and Marco in Dhahran in Saudi Arabia. So I'm super excited to hear, to learn more from you. Marco, ¿cómo estás? I see you speak very great Spanish. How's it going over there?
Muy bien, todo va bien. Everything is absolutely excellent. Or as they say in Saudi Arabia, alhamdulillah. I think I've pronounced it. I'm still trying to learn little bits of Saudi, of Arabic. It's a beautiful language, but I have to say it's quite a difficult language. So, yeah, gracias, Michael. Todo está bien. Muchas gracias.
Beautiful. And where are you from, Marco? I'm just curious, originally.
The accent kind of throws a lot of people away. I'm half Spanish, half Italian. I grew up in Spain and Italy. My grandparents brought me up. However, during my holidays, my school holidays, both in Italy and Spain, I used to go to the United Kingdom, where my parents had a business, and that's where I spent my holidays during my youth, which it was wonderful. I enjoyed the fact that I could learn a different culture, you know. So for me, it was a wonderful upbringing.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Rania, do you want to tell us a little bit about you and where you are and the work you do with the Culinary Academy?
Yes, I am in like 5 minutes away from Marco. I left the academy because I had another engagement. We are in Saudi Arabia. So the academy was so proud to say the first academy in Saudi Arabia with the education, high education, which is diploma. We aim to teach the less fortunate and more passionate students. And we have an amazing team. Of course, now it's almost 8 p.m. in Saudi Arabia. That's why, thank you, Marco. He's being in the academy doing one of my favorite dish, Saudi cuisine, which I innovated out of it. So maybe you all know that Saudi Arabia is famous with a dish called kebsa. So it's rice. It's a very, very delicious rice. We are doing it today with the tenderloin. And I did a similar one with tuna, if David remember, in Rio in 2016. And we're so honored to be here with among all of these amazing chefs, and I believe in the gastronomy that is the most important part for social change. And in Zadak, we believe that, or I would love to have Zadak as the pioneer in educating in food waste and obesity, and bring back the love of food to our homes.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh my God, Marco, I could smell it.
I tell you what, Ma'am Rania, it not only smells delicious, I have to say it tastes equally delicious.
Amazing. I could smell it.
Gracias.
Oh, wow.
Gracias.
Could you put the camera a little bit closer, Chef Marco, so we can see a little bit of that beauty?
With all my wonderful friends and family here in
God.
Saudi Arabia.
So Charles, the rice is a basmati rice, and the meat is cooked with onion and with the cloves and with cinnamon and with the black lime, some tomatoes and onion. So you could imagine the innovation and the revolution of flavors in that simple dish.
Beautiful, amazing. Thank you so much. And I love what you shared, Rania, about the power of education for social change and educating around these important issues, such as food waste and nutritious diets. Do you want to tell us a bit more about how you see that affecting communities, and in general, what food solidarity, how it is expressed through this work that you're doing at Zadk, right? This is how you pronounce it?
Zadk. Yes, I mean,
Zadk.
if I can just tell you all about what Zadak mean, because I want to start with something with meaning. So Zad in the Arabic language mean the traveler food, and the kaf is your food. So, and to also mean the extra food. So it have two meaning. So starting from that, I mean, the traditionally over the past 40 years, people have started mixing between generosity and doing the proper food. So people, they want to tell you how much they welcome you, so they start cooking a lot, and somehow it became as a habit, and we got start mixed up of our values, where we now feel we need to bring back to the way we were 40 years ago from that part. Add to that what we aim, the culture and the solidarity. I would like Zadak to be the platform, bring people back to love the food, love the nature, connect with the nature. So we not just care about waste, but care about we should cook from our local and seasonal cuisine. Also, for the past 30 years, the fast food and franchise start innovating the country. So the young generation, really, they don't know what's in season, what's important, what's not. It's so part of our mission is to give that kind of education through our classes. And thank you, Marco. Marco is showing my book where he got the recipe. I believe that you guys are adding a lot for us to know, because you started this journey ahead of us. And I would love, with this platform, I'm working on starting a first forum in the kingdom about sustainability and culture. So I know that is a big topic, but I would like to proceed forward, and maybe in the next year or so we all meet in this part of the country and to work on the same mission and learn from each other.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much for that inspiring work you're sharing with us, Chef Marco and Rania. Thank you so much. And I love the depth of meaning of even the word Zadak, and how you see food generosity as an act of love, and a way to connect us to nature, to locality, to seasonality, to the rhythm of nature in a way, through education and food. Thank you so much for being with us today from Saudi Arabia.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Charles.
Gracias a ustedes. Un placer.
Gracias, querido compañero.
Venga.
Un abrazo.
Adiós.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much. Well, All right, so we've already seen Mengli in Cambodia, Rania in Saudi Arabia. Now we're heading to Vancouver, right in front of the sea there, of the bay in Vancouver. And we're going to be hearing from Mark Brand, dear friend, who runs a Better Life Foundation and many more things. He is an inspiring activist and catalyzer, and I'm going to let you, explain, Mark. I just, all of the work you do, and super excited to see what you're cooking for us and the story.
My man, so nice to see you, and so nice to see the rest of the world before this. It's hard in these times of isolation to think outside of the space that we're in. But that's why I love our work together, Charles, and that we got to spend so much time together during COVID, is that we remember that we're all part of this one big, beautiful blue marble together, and how important it is to think of it in that way. And before we start, just knowing also where the other Charles is, which I'm looking at you, Charles, right now. I'm looking at North Vancouver. We are on the traditional and unceded territories of the Squamish Nation. And right now, the Indigenous populations of Canada have been under assault since the beginning of colonization in many places around the world. And we don't give that a lot of center. And where I grew up is a place called Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. And the people there are the Mi'kmaq people, or the Micmac people. And specifically, they are being assaulted by domestic terrorists for their birthright to fish. And so I wouldn't be able to be here with you today without centering them and centering my love for the Indigenous peoples and the blessing that we are able to inhabit these lands and work for reconciliation and solidarity. My email signature of all things says in active solidarity. And that doesn't mean that I'm just writing about it or talking about it. It means that every single day of my life, I dedicate towards being in solidarity with people who have less, who have been marginalized, who've been oppressed, who face systemic racism, misogyny, and all of the other bullshit that we've put in play. So I'm going to segue to my dish, and then you and I can talk. Because my dish is inspired today. Let me see if I get this camera right.
Yes.
The Indigenous peoples of British Columbia. This is a pink salmon, and not many people have heard of the pink salmon because it's a bycatch often, but it's beautiful, nutritious, and readily available versus the other types of salmons that we are depleting quickly. On top is its crispy skin. Underneath it is some lardon made by a dear friend of mine named Heat La Liberté, who is a transgender man of Indigenous origin who made these for me. And then of course the root veg that are all in season right now. And the most important part of the dish for me outside the pink salmon is rice. And the Indigenous populations have often said this about rice because Native North Americans grew rice. And when the populations came over and invaded land and took over all of it, they would notice that the Indigenous populations wouldn't farm all the way out into the rice field, and they would let the rice fall into the water. And they said, "You're wasting it." And they said, "We're not the only ones to do it." And that's what resonated with me, that we have an obligation and a duty to see that we are only one of many species.
That's beautiful. We are only one of many species. Thank you for that, Mark, and also for raising awareness to our awareness, at least here in this room, about the struggles of the First Nation peoples to access their own food, their own ecosystems, and their own bounty. You mentioned that right now they were struggling to actually fish lobster, and that they are being pressured, and even more so now during COVID, right? So things are, in some cases, we want to see the nice side of things going in the right direction, but there's still a lot of things that are going in the wrong direction.
Yeah, we have to speak truth, right? And I'm all for positive energy. It's how I live my life, right? I'm very much into being that radical positivity, but we also have to acknowledge the truths of what's happening everywhere in the world right now. For people who have less. And so I built my organizations, as you know, Charles, where we are in Vancouver, 3 blocks this way is the largest open air drug market in North America. It's the densest area of homelessness and mental illness in North America. Now, people are, oh, it's Skid Row. What about the Tenderloin? I've worked everywhere in North America and around homelessness in particular, and researched it for over 10 years, ground level. In this particular area, we have a predominantly deep mentally ill population, and then also secondary, an indigenous population that have been cast aside. So it's hard to believe when people come into my streets and they see what's happening, that Canada would turn its back in this way. So I started working directly in this neighborhood 15 years ago and built a business known as Save on Meats, but it's now really the headquarters for A Better Life Foundation that's directly in the center of that and has been here since 1957. And we work to feed about 1,200 people a day, focusing on women and children fleeing violence, indigenous populations. And then our employment program was a bit of an archetype around how you actually get people properly employed that isn't just people donating money over and over and over again to have an employment program that looks good on paper, but truly providing people a better life. So what does it look like to hire people out of recidivism, who've done multiple jail stints, out of physical and mental diverse abilities? So having differently abled, not disability, that's a word that we can describe from our language, but different abilities. And I'm really, really proud to say that we've been able to employ hundreds and train thousands into food, because what I made here today, I've been cooking since I was 14. I've been in the kitchen for 30 years. I made food today. That's what's important. Everybody can make this. And so during COVID, I pivoted, as you know, Charles, in America, to reach Black and Brown Indigenous populations in New York, Oakland, San Francisco, and teach them this way, predominantly children between 7 and 14, with partner organizations, and get them food delivered. So what is your choice? Agency matters. What would you like to cook? And then we bring them together like this, and then do one-on-one classes, and then bring them back, and they cook for us. And it's been phenomenal. Like, Charles, honestly, I was thinking this morning, you and I have never spent time in person.
It's true.
We've done so much together, but this tool is that. And during these times, it's just so beautiful for us to be able to connect. And reflecting on seeing everybody's faces in here today, the power of what can happen today and have echoes so everybody can be in active solidarity, I think is really important. So I appreciate your invite. And Charles, Mr. Holmes, I appreciate your invite as well.
Charles, I need to interject, if that's okay, here for a minute, because I have spent time inside the business that Mark started, Save on Meats, and I've met the people that he has supported and trained. We have not met in person, which is crazy, but the ripple effect, as a fellow Vancouverite, the ripple effect of your work is truly extraordinary, and I just want to say a heartfelt thank you.
Appreciate you, brother. A lot. Thank you. And we will meet very soon. It's bound.
Yeah, it will happen. Wow. Thank you so much, Mark, for that inspiring. And, and I invite folks to go and see some of the talks that Mark has online. And I want to just point out that this here I wrote, right, speaking truth, I think is sometimes one of the hardest thing. And the way you put it forward with such kindness and understanding and empathy, I feel is an example. And many of us here in this room have learned, like folks from Gastromotiva in Brazil and in Chile and in different parts of the world, where we are actually through food using this tool to actually say what's true and just elevating things. And maybe that is where we will slowly get to justice for all. So thank you so much, Mark, for your inspiring work and for sharing this time with us today. It's been incredibly inspiring.
My honor and my pleasure. And when you guys wrap up here today, for those of you who are still awake, we are having a concert series through A Better Life Foundation. I'll put it on my social media and just throw my Instagram in here so you can find it easily. But it is around advocacy and bringing people to the understanding of poverty and hunger. And we're doing it through bringing major stars through. So we have Jay-Z's producer, Just Blaze, performing today, and 5 other incredible DJs. And I would love you guys to come. So the invitation is open, and I'll pop it in the chat. And I can't wait to see what the rest of the cooks cook. Thank you for having me.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Mark. Such a pleasure. Wow. Okay. So from Vancouver, we went from east to west, and now we're going south. We're going to visit Camila Fundación Gastronomía Social in Chile. Hola Camila, ¿cómo estás?
Hola, Charles.
¿Cómo va por allá? Qué lindo paisaje, qué lindo día que tienen ustedes por allá.
Mira, te muestro acá. Mira el día que tenemos. Amaneció muy feo. You want to do it in English or in Spanish?
In English, maybe, yeah.
Okay, so we had a really, really, really sad day this morning, and look now. Like everything is frying on top of my table, but we're gonna make nice food today. We have some families, we have some friends around here that are gonna help us cook in this amazing reunion.
Amazing, amazing. And so I understand you're gonna share with us a bit of grilling and a bit of these vegetables that you have right there that you're growing yourself.
Exactly. I already had to start grilling them, so I already have them on top of the grill. We cut some cauliflowers this morning, some charrots, some little peas, so everything is on the grill. I got this octopus that we're gonna present the plate now. This octopus is from everything. I try to make it like the most local as possible. So this octopus is from Juan Fernandez Island, which is an island that has the most amazing fauna in the sea, like sea speaking. So I have this one that it's marinating here just with olive oil, some activated charcoal, and some like smoke peppers, like local smoke peppers. And we're gonna make a puree. It's gonna be like a hummus using these beans that are local. They're like only 10 kilometers away from here. They're called payares. So we're gonna make this hummus to put
They're
our beautiful fruits and vegetables on top. So while we talk, I'm gonna be finishing the plate. And also we have an extra today, which is sea urchin.
Wow.
We have fresh, lovely sea urchins. I think these ones are gonna be the last ones of the season because we have to respect the season of seafood. So we're gonna make them super simple, fresh, and clean. And we also made some typical bread on top of the grill. We're cooking with coal and like directly on top of the grill. This is called dobladita, which is traditionally made with foldies or dobladitas, which is made with the leftovers of the empanada dough. So you just fold them, you make a circle, really thin circle, you just fold it in two, and you get dobladitas ready. So I'm gonna show you my vegetables as we go through this talking.
Beautiful. Wow, that's so vibrant and rich. And I love how, kilometer zero, right? Trying to get everything from as local as possible and also respecting the seasonality.
That has to be the purpose now. Every chef has this responsibility from now on. Like all these herbs, you can grow them in an apartment if you want, I have them here in the garden, but I have like 10 different herbs here that I just grow them like 5 months ago. Like it's my pandemic green garden. We started it as a family art therapy. So we eat a lot of things over there. Now we're getting some strawberries. So it's beautiful. And that's what we also are trying to do with our community of Comida para Todos in the Fundación Gastronomía Social.
Right.
That's what we want to put, like the stamp that we want to give everyone, these vulnerable communities, show them that it's not so hard to grow your own vegetables. And it's therapy, it's healthier, it's gonna help you how to eat better. It's gonna show you that eating better is not eating in a boring way, which is also kind of a myth that it's always around.
Yes. Eating better can be fun, it can be pleasurable, it can be even more beautiful than eating unwell, let's say. And so tell us more about Fundación Gastronomía Social. And so you're part of also Mesa para Todos.
Yeah, I'm director of Fundación Gastronomía Social and general coordinator of the project Comida para Todos, which last week we gave our 120,000 lunch in around 5 months of project, which is like really stunning, like when you look backwards and you realize the way we started, like super friends and family made up, and now we have this whole community with over 30 other institutions or projects that want to support us and help us in the whole project of Comida para Todos. And now we're starting our phase 2 which is about these open schools, which we're gonna give tools for resilience, you know, for people who has no jobs, no opportunities in life. So we're gonna give them new opportunities in life, teaching them through the green gardens, the local green gardens we're making for them in really vulnerable places, not only in Santiago, also in other regions of Chile, in Antofagasta, in Valparaíso, in Concepción, and of course in Santiago. And also we're gonna have these open classes that had to do with cooking, you know, like the similar classes to cooking schools, but now we're gonna start more inspired in you know, like crafts related with food. I have a project called, I'm part of a project called Colectivo Fermento, where we teach and do our own cheese making, like really good cheese, and also charcuterie. So we want to give these new tools to people who have never had these kind of tools before.
That's amazing. Wow, that's so inspiring, and so many ways in which your work can provide social change, right? Not only feeding those in need when crisis hits, right? But also building resilience and teaching this cooking, right? And we can see, I think, at least I'm feeling it very much, right? As we go through different parts of the world, the kind of the common denominator is the same. And I'm not talking about food, but rather about teaching, about giving, about generosity towards others. Yeah, it's super inspiring to see. And I also feel that, you know, what you're doing in Chile is something also that is so important to think of in the whole Latin American continent, because we face similar challenges, right?
It's not only happening in Chile now, Charles. We're already in Spain. We're starting in Argentina, in Peru, Ecuador.
Oh, beautiful.
So we're just starting, you know, this is our new beginning, and we're gonna start like in a really impressive way, on fire, you know.
On fire. On fire takes another meaning.
It's our moment. I mean, I have the fire over there and everything, so we're all on fire here.
Beautiful.
So I'm gonna put. So yeah, I mean, and it's amazing how the community, some companies, like many people has been like asking how could they help, how can they be part of Comida para Todos. You know, as soon as we talk about Comida para Todos, everyone wants to be part of it, which is like makes you realize that you're going through the good path, you know.
Absolutely. Yeah, fighting the good fight. Amazing. So inspiring to hear. Is there anything else you want to share with us regarding the meaning of World Food Day, this food solidarity gathering that we're doing, and all the sessions that? Yeah.
I think we're kind of making magic here. You know what happened the other day in the Universal Plate? How many meals we could give away in so many countries, like 18 countries. Like Thailand did only, like just themselves, they were able to give away 70,000 meals. You know, it's like this show us we're able to do this magic. If we get together, if we think together, we're able to make this magic work. So I just want to invite anyone who wants to be part of it. Like, I don't know, and you know, now we're gonna start opening for people who wants to donate their time, donate their professional experience. We didn't discover it. We know it, like we've always know it, but it's so sad that no one had really done something before, like directly in the communities. We're opening, like, you know, we're trying to find opening psychiatric hours, or maybe lawyers who want to help people in the communities, and so on and so on. So, you know, you can donate a square foot of green garden, you can donate as a volunteer. It's like, there's so many things to do. There's so much space for everyone. So I really want to invite anyone who wants to be part of it. Please be part of our family of Comida para Todos. This is just the beginning, Charles.
Amazing. It is just the beginning. And I love how basically you're telling us that cooperation is joyful when it is done through food, or with food as the tool. And that really resonates.
When you put together different energies all together in one bag, we can do magic.
Yeah, We are. You are. Thank you
So
so much.
here, while we were talking, I don't know if you can see it because of the light, but here we have the octopus on top of the payar hummus, and here we have the vegetables. So, and for the gherkins, I'm just gonna put some onions here, some lemon juice, some pepper, and some olive oil that we're almost done with it. And fresh coriander or cilantro, they call it different ways. Fresh from the garden. We just mix it up and we can have it all together with our dobladitas.
Qué rico todo eso. Am I the only one who's salivating right now? Gastric juice is working.
In San Antonio, next to San Antonio. So you're all invited.
Yes, on our way.
Get on our ship. We have our captain Rafa, who has like so many ideas for us. He's like, he never gets tired of inventing new ideas, new projects, new gatherings. So we're all so happy for that. Thanks, Rafa, for this chance. And comida para todos here.
Sí, comida para todos. Qué grande, Rafa. Rafa, also, I see you there. Thank you for all you do. And Camila, so grateful for you showing us all you showed us and the energy you brought to the table and how inspiring it is that this work is just happening all over. And so thank you so much. Yes, exactly. Thank you, Camila. Right, so now from Chile, we're going to be going a bit to the north and to the east, and we're going to see our very favorite David Hertz from Gastromotiva, who's in Rio de Janeiro. David, are you there?
Hi, Camila, amazing. Hey. Everyone, Mark, Rania, Mangli, Charles, I'm so happy to be here. I'm in a very special place to cook with all of us.
Beautiful. Tell us about that space. It looks like you have a nice view over there and outdoors. And what are you doing there?
So for those that don't that know Rio, that's the sugar loaf. And then you have, I'm in a very good neighborhood around here. You can see the whole other city of Niterói. Then right there, Refeitório Gastromotiva. As you can see, it's a wealthy area, but I'm in a favela. So it's one of our former students that turned his kitchen into a solidarity kitchen. And I decided to cook from here so I could choose a little bit how life is here. So we are cooking at his space. And Sardinha, our cook, we are doing some muqueca.
Hey, Sardinha. Muqueca, wow, so good.
Hello, Charles. Wait.
So good to see you, Sardinha. It's been a long time.
Yeah, I
so
can
nice
remember.
To see you also.
Yeah.
So you're making muqueca?
Muqueca, yeah. With some vegetables and fish.
And yesterday, he cooked with another chef who's a forager. Sardinha, do you want to show him the leaves you got in the street?
Yeah.
Here. So he went foraging around Refeitório and he found this that's called papoula. And all of these, and we're going to use in the rice that we're going to serve with the moqueca. So all of these are punks, you know, like the ones that you can find all in the street. So we wanted to bring this because Sardinha is getting an expert on punks.
It's beautiful. So wild city herbs, huh?
Yes,
White city herbs.
Oh, that's so beautiful to give some vibrance to that moqueca.
Yeah, show him the vegetables we're gonna make fish.
Yeah.
But we just we decided to make a churrasco today for us because we haven't been gathering around. So this is for the moqueca. There is
Mm.
cauliflower, there is shushu. And this is Bruno. He's a student, that's his house. And this, he's doing churrasco for us, grilled meat.
Oh, nice.
And that's Sundays in Brazil. So we decided to do both things together. And after we speak here, we're gonna go down to the streets and we're gonna distribute a few meals. We've been doing this every day at Refeitório, in these kitchens. But I always wanted to come here because I've been seeing this kitchen on Instagram, and it was the best opportunity to come here and cook with these guys who are cooking so much. In the end, they are the ones that are supporting the front line, you know. So you've been talking about solidarity. Only in this place, which is an island of poverty, through all these buildings that I show you, it lives 3,000 people. So he distributes food for some of the families that are already jobless. You know, it's a new color, a new space of hunger in Brazil, because there is so much unemployment going on and life is so expensive here. So that's what we've been working on.
That's so special. And I love how there's something really special about what you do that is also something that we see in different parts of the world, which is really using this opportunity to cook and gift food to those in need, but also using that act of cooking as an educational tool for young people who are passionate about food, and really using this profession as a tool for upward mobility, to being more resilient and independent, right? Food makes you more resilient and independent when you learn. And I love that, that you're such an inspiration with what you do in Gastromotiva, David. And yeah, I wanted to ask you kind of, if you want to share something else with us as we act local and connect global. Is there anything else you'd like to share with everybody on the call?
No, I just think I've been listening to everyone, and I think what connects us is beyond cooking, but also taking care of people, you know, like taking care of others in a way that is more empathetic. It's more through the values of not what people do. Yes, it's important to have a job, gives you dignity. And that's what Gastromotiva does, the capacity building, supporting entrepreneurs to become independent, but much more than that, freeing the spirit, you know. I think we all that are in this call were able to connect to the internet. This is a big thing here in this community. Most of the people, most of the children are not going to the school, and they are not having online classes because of the cost of internet. So I think the COVID is bringing a new layer of social disparities, and I'm really afraid of that. I'm somehow relieved that Zaya, Nikki, Mari, there is a new team for SGM as this new phase of social gastronomy movement goes on, because it allows me to connect to the why I started this 16 years ago. And when I see this kitchen of Bruno, for the people that don't know, when we started Gastromotiva, it was in my house, in a very little kitchen with 4 students. And you see the size of the project nowadays going global. So when I see these solidarity cooks that we have in Brazil, more than 52, that already cooked more than 350,000 meals alone in their houses, I see a really bright future. When you empower someone, you give them the tools, you connect to the values that are the same as us as a nonprofit, but them as the students, the farmer, the beneficiaries, and they become the multipliers of this experience. So I think the public policies part that we've been speaking in other sessions, that's the way we need to go. But we need to go together with the communities, not top down, but bottom up. And today, the reason I'm here as well, and we are distributing meals, is because we are part of a campaign in Brazil that's called People Are to Shine and Not to Die of Hunger. So there are other movements, there are other nonprofits, and we're all using this week to raise awareness and maybe collectively bring more attention from the authorities to work together and build the policies that need to be implemented. So whoever wants to know more about how this campaign went, I'm having Chef Rodrigo from Mocotó, one of the 50 best from Brazil. I don't know if you know him, Rodrigo Oliveira, and his wife, who is a doctorate on hunger. So they will tell us at the SGM gathering, maybe Nikki, Zai, you guys can put the session when it's going to be. So we can learn from them, and this can be replicated around the globe for next year. So I think that's the beauty of having SGM, having Gastromotiva, the other organizations, so we can all, make the little change we can bit by bit, but supporting these communities that in the end, the reason for me to be here with all of you is because I care about these people who usually don't have enough opportunities or enough belief that they have the rights, So that's what I wanted to share with everyone.
Oh, thank you so much, David, for your energy, for your leadership, for so many years of leadership in the social gastronomy space. And I know this is just the beginning, but truly inspiring to see how the systems you're putting in place are having an effect, and that we can dream of bigger, more articulated action through policymaking as well, and through putting the right words and the right narratives out there. So thank you so much for sharing with us and connecting from Rio de Janeiro. And yeah, have a great.
Oh, look what happened! Look what just came to us.
Oh wow, food's ready.
Yeah, amazing. So we're gonna continue eating here. And
beautiful.
It's the first time I'm eating out in many, many months. So it's very symbolic for us to be here because, of social distance, every moment is important. So thank you, everyone. And cheer with your families, your friends, whoever is with you today, and have, like a blast. And congratulations, SGM team. My love,
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much. All right. Well, we've been traveling right from Cambodia with Mengi to Saudi Arabia with Rania and Marco, to Vancouver with Mark Brand, to Chile with Camila and the Fundación Gastronomía Social, now Rio with David Hertz. And I believe we had planned to have Elena Regados, but I'm not sure if she's here already. So we might just take it to a close. Charles, how are you feeling after this journey around the world?
It feels like it has been a gastronomic as well as an art journey, thanks to your extraordinary capture, Charles. It's beautiful. It's just so beautiful, and I'm so glad that you have held up your capture and drawings for us. And please take a picture. We need to figure out how to post this.
Absolutely. I will.
Thank you for your gracious and wonderful hosting. I'm just going to put my microphone back on. Inspired, Charles, by you and also by Mark Brand's invitation to ensure we acknowledge Indigenous peoples and First Nations. I had to grab this book from my shelf, and many of you know that I carry this with me everywhere I go. It's a book by an Indigenous leader who has since left us, Richard Wagamas. And I'm going to read a poem because I think it captures so much of what we've heard here. And some of you have heard me read this poem when we've been together in person. It touches me every time I read it, and Charles, it just reflects the spirit that your hosting has brought, and the spirit of everyone who's joined us. From our very first breath, we are in relationship. With that indrawn draft of air, we become joined to everything that ever was, is, and ever will be. When we exhale, we forge that relationship by virtue of the act of living. Our breath commingles with all breath, and we are a part of everything. That's the simple fact of things. We are born into a state of relationship. Our meals together, our ceremonies, and our rituals are guides to lead us deeper into that with all things. Big lesson, relationships never end, they just change. In believing that lies the freedom to carry compassion, empathy, love, kindness, and respect into and through whatever changes. We are made more by that practice.
That's gorgeous. Thank you so much for sharing that beautiful poem, Charles.
You know, and I'm reminded of another tradition that so many of us I know miss, not being together, and it has its roots, I understand, in a practice that comes from the ancient Greeks, and that is the ritual of toasting and sharing a toast. It was originated with wine, of course, and it was an acknowledgement to the gods, an expression of gratitude. And we thought we would just, in this last couple of minutes together, and we're going to leave this open for people who want to eat together, but we want to create an opportunity for a toast. But before inviting you to make a toast, either in the chat or verbally, Nikki, hand it over to you for, I think you have a message for everyone, and your closing comment.
Great, thank you so much, Charles. Every time the poem has been with us for this whole journey, and it touches us equally every time, or maybe in a different way even, right? Depending on our state of mind and moment of time. But no, grateful for everyone. Thank you for being here. I want to make a just very practical, I'm sorry to break, announcement. There is a quick poll for the team that Charles mentioned that did magic to put this together. Just collecting a little info, so don't get scared of a little pop-up of poll. It takes you 30 seconds just to answer a few questions. There it is. It's easy. And then I want to invite everyone that's not yet part of the Social Gastronomy Movement community. I think today you became part of a family through this little journey around the different kitchens. And I'm cheating. It clearly is a KitchenAid back there. It was just the cutting in front of the camera, so that's making a little noise. But become part of a community. There is a Social Gastronomy Movement map that people can join that are doing amazing things around the world. We look for alliances and partnerships around the world, so come join as well. On the website you'll find all the information. So just gratitude in the name of the entire team for everyone being here, and let's toast.
Nikki, I don't know if it's just me, but I can't click submit on the poll.
There's three questions. So you think it's two, so you go down, the third one will pop up.
You have to scroll down to get the third and then click submit. Thank you. Thank you. So Nikki, why don't you model for us? I would like to make a toast to, and tell us what your toast is to, and then anyone else would like to.
I'd like to make a toast to this entire community and to everyone that was part of putting this together. And this is our closing of the Universal. So a toast to having a beautiful World Food Day 2020, starting with a plate, with a table, and now with this beautiful kitchen session. So a toast to being connected and acting locally.
And this is now open space for anyone who would like to make a toast. Just unmute yourself.
Long life to the movement. Long life for all.
Yay.
Q, congratulations. I didn't mention you, but I see you now. You have been doing a lot before the organizations. Thank you for the universal. Now I don't remember if it's dish or table or plate. I'm very confused, Nikki, by the same name. But the sessions are amazing, guys. You should celebrate. A toast to the level and quality of the sessions.
I would like to toast with my half pitaya. I would like to toast for the courage in so many of you and those who shared, but also who are here present in this call and you know, courage. The word comes from Latin cor, C-O-R, which means heart. And I want to toast for everybody's heart and courage in doing this work, because sometimes it's not easy to do the right thing. So thank you for making the right thing happen. Cheers.
Charles, a particular toast to you for showing up in spite of your allergy, and a toast to your rapid recovery to full health.
Big toast to that one. Charles, you're a hero.
I'm just mirroring what's happening in the room, right? It's like you're heroes, and I think that the beauty is when we come together. That's really when it happens, and we co-create. So thank you so much. You're very kind. It's a pleasure and an honor.
Anyone else?
I want to make a toast to everyone. You know, now we're going to get me going. And plus I had a lot of toast drinking. So, you know, I want to make a toast to everyone that was cooking with us, because some cameras were off and others were really cooking, having a meal. To Marco, the chefs, everyone I see actively, you know, cooking. Mindfully, that stayed up so late for us. I really want to make a toast to that as well. And I've been observing as well, Aish Natasha there. They've been cooking beautifully. When Charles has said that he's not, we can see you. But it's just beautiful to see not only the kitchens that were covered by the cooks that we highlighted today, but everyone's a cook. So it's just beautiful to see Q showing his meals. So just, you know, I think it's so nice to see so personal people's kitchens. So I want to make a toast to people that contributed as well, cooking themselves.
I want to give a toast to my mom that just entered the room.
I want to give a toast to all the SGM team, and Mom, I think you're here too. That's great. Team, I'm so grateful to be here, and yes, it's a little too early for me to be toasting here, but I have like this shot of aguardiente. I don't know if you guys are seeing this. But cheers to you all. I'm so happy to see you all here, and it has been amazing. Thank you.
And to all the cooks and activists who agreed to join today, it was so inspiring seeing all of your kitchens and listening to your stories. Thank you so much.
I was just about to say that, and thank you, Katie, for helping put this together. But it has been absolutely amazing getting to do one-on-ones with all of the chefs and cooks that participated. It was so great talking to everyone and getting to know throughout this entire event everyone who's been participating and everyone we have lined up for the rest of the week. We have some really great sessions, so please be sure to check them out, and putting in the little plug there. But it has been really great talking to everyone and getting to know everyone in the social gastronomy movement in a more personal level. So cheers to that.
I'm going to make
Zaya, what have you cooked, Zaya?
guys, I would make a toast, but in Saudi Arabia, we're not allowed to do that. So thumbs up and salud. Amor y pesetas. Adios.
Thanks, Marco.
I feel like I need to respond to David. Well, I'm usually not very comfortable speaking or eating and cooking with the camera, but well, I want to make the toast to this beautiful community of social gastronomy. It was just an inspiration to me. Thank you so much. I've heard so much about some people like Elena, Charles, like I've never met you, but like I really felt connected. And more than that, I just wanted to say like how thankful I am, because thanks to the Social Gastronomy Movement, I could enjoy this session with my boyfriend and my friends, with my loved ones. So thank you so much for really bringing food that unites us all. I really believe that it's in the power of food. Thank you so much.
So everyone, I think there's a lot of people, well, some people that have eaten already, others that want to eat now after they cooked. So we wanted to leave this space open for people to eat together as well. If you want to continue hanging out, we can put some music on. The space is ours. Otherwise, if you want to drop out, enjoy, meet my puppy. He's dressed up for the occasion. First time he's wearing a bow tie. I know, Catherine, I can see your face. But yeah, so please feel free to hang out. Great, thank you for everyone for running us through this. Any feedback you have afterward, it's the first time we're doing this. Love to hear from everyone, so just drop us an email. And other than that, I guess we can just leave it open. We can continue just chatting. We can, if we're a lot of people, we can break into breakout groups again, just like we did at the beginning. And a great thank you to both Charleses. Charles Holmes, it's been a pleasure for so many years working by your side, learning from you and your inspiration. So thank you so much for that as well, and coming in early this morning. So happy eating. We can keep asking. I want to know what Natasha actually cooked. I've been watching you. I want to know now. I'm intrigued.
We cooked, so these are Chinese hand-pulled noodles. A really good friend of mine, she's from Sichuan, and she gave me basically a really super easy recipe to do it. It's literally just 2 parts flour and 1 part water, and then a little bit of oil, and then just, that's it. And then you can just put whatever toppings you want, I guess. And we used soybean sprouts that we grew ourselves, and kale from our balcony, and soy sauce and sesame oil, and that was it. Oh, and chili oil as well.
Amazing. Janet, should we share a little bit of music for people to hang out still?
Sure. Mm-hmm. This one maybe is specific for Zaya.
I know what's coming. Camila, I want to be where you are right now, quite frankly. I have to say.
Very good. Quelle musique you play?
Hear it?
Jerusalem, ikayalami, ilondoloze,
Hey, hi everyone. Good evening. I'm from India basically, and I'm just 18 years old. Also, I'm just realized to know that I really appreciate the work you guys are doing, and it's been a great experience for me to be in this meeting. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Obviously, I'm in India. It's very late here. It's almost 11:30 midnight, and my mom don't know about it that I'm attending this. And obviously she's gonna scold me a lot, but yeah, it's worth it actually.
Welcome. Next time we need you cooking. I want to learn some Indian cooking.
Yeah, sure.
Where are you from? What part of India? Oh.
I think you couldn't hear Maya, but where in India are you from?
Hey.
Delhi. Nice.
Hi, I'm in Mumbai actually.
Oh, in Mumbai. My dad's from Mumbai. I was gonna make aloo gobi today, but I didn't get enough cauliflower, but I really wanted to make aloo gobi.
Oh yeah. So you being in Delhi tonight?
Welcome, welcome. Oh, I think my connection's not very good. Sorry. What? You can hear me?
I want to share what I've been doing in the kitchen. I have these amazing green tomatoes from my friend's garden. And I have been, Charles Michel actually taught us, his patrons, to divide the tomato with your hands to get that tactile experience. And so I'm bringing
Squeeze.
Squeeze. Squeeze, yes. Although it's a little tough to squeeze it right now. Yeah, it's just really cool to have like my Massachusetts community brought to this global community through food.
Q, we can see you speak, but we can't hear you.
No. And his mic is on.
Yeah, your mic is on, but we can't hear. No. We know that Q often has problems with technology. Meet Q, everyone.
Is it Q? What?
And I'd like to know what Joy is eating. I know that she had some really bad health issues. How are you doing, Joy? What are you eating? How are you feeling today?
Hi, thank you, Zaya. I'm actually, since I had a terrible week for my stomach, my kidneys, it was a mess. So now I'm eating a little bit healthier. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I made a bean salad with onions and basil and a lot of stuff, and these potatoes just with garlic. And it tastes amazing.
So glad
Q, do you want to give it another shot? No.
You asked me a question in the chat. So I'm just making some tomato soup with the green tomatoes. Just boiling it on like a medium heat and adding salt and just experimenting a little bit.
And now I definitely want to learn Aisha Natasha's technique for the noodles.
Ooh, Q is ready with his tomatoes, Katie. You can give him the class.
I'll share what I've learned with you, Q. I wish I could talk with you, but
it's okay. We have a lot of senses. We'll make it happen otherwise. So my wonderful husband made a beautiful vegetable soup. because every Saturday we get like these, it's called Cesta Social, it's like social basket in Curitiba. And it's all from the local farmers, like whatever is seasonal, and you support the farmers at the same time as you get amazing food. And so we always get vegetables, and what better way than just throwing it all into a pot and having a vegetable soup. So he made this one while we were preparing the main dish. More to come.
Well, Zaya asked me what I'm cooking, so I'll hop in. I made still in the oven. My timing wasn't right. A frittata with vegetables from my garden. I'll show you when it's done. And some taioba, which is a big old leaf. We like made it crispy and put Parmigiano on top. So we're gonna have a late Sunday brunch, but it will be lovely.
So delicious, Maya. Invite me in.
You're welcome here anytime, Joy. Anytime. You always have a seat at my table. Everybody. Glad you're feeling better, by the way. It makes me so happy that you're see your beautiful face. So I'm very happy about that.
Thank you.
Yeah, now I would like to know how was your cooking, because when I saw the octopus and everything, I was like, oh my God, I was so hungry. How was it? Tell us about the experience.
What I could tell you is like there is no octopus left on this table. No, wait, I think here there's like just one left. About 2 complete octopus from 2 complete octopus. So yeah. We still have sea urchin here. The vegetables we're also almost done. So I guess it worked.
Everyone, we're gonna head out. We're actually gonna sit to eat together. But it was amazing being connected with everyone. Thank you, girls. Thank you, Charleses. And have a wonderful Sunday. And hope to see loads of you in the sessions on Monday. I'm excited about them. So hope to see you there.
Thanks so much, Nikki.
Bye.
I am going to head out as well. It was great to see everyone and just hold space with you in this very exciting way. Yeah, thanks so much. And in case you want it, I'm gonna leave my Insta handle in the chat. Hit me up. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
You
have a great Sunday.
Bye. Have a nice Sunday.
Congrats, team. Amazing.
Yeah, this is super cool.
Oh, Jill, we can't hear you. Do mime.
Let's make sure this doesn't happen in the green room for your sessions. I think you need a green room for catalyst sessions.
I talk so much. I can see the pain in your eyes. So everyone left. I will finish my lunch, but congrats, you guys did amazing. It was awesome.
We miss you, Joy.
We really miss you guys too.
Yeah, hopefully you're feeling better. You can join at least our staff canteens in the evenings.
Yes, but tomorrow I'm back already.
Okay, great.
Yay.
Yeah.
Bye, Joy.
Okay.
Beijo.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. I'm going to close out the room.
Bye, Joy.
Are we having a staff canteen or no?
I don't think so.
Hey,
No, I
the
don't need to.
frittata is ready. I'm also gonna go eat.
That looks amazing.
Send picture. Beijo.
Will do. Beijo. Beijo, gente. Good job, Janet.
Bye,
Good job,
girl.
everyone. Bye.
Bye.